Hey folks, Fracture Headlines here. You know, I hate to point out the obvious, but we have a war criminal in the White House. It's not our first war criminal. George W. Bush was also a war criminal when 9/11 occurred, and 15 out of the 19 of the terrorists on those planes were Saudi Arabians. He went to war against Iraq and Afghanistan. Those are massive war crimes. Maybe the reason that George W. Bush stays hunkered down in in Texas, and avoids international travel. I believe he's wanted in a few countries, and it might not be safe for him to travel to the Netherlands, and that is where the Hague is located, the international court where he would be tried for war crimes. But never mind George W. Bush, we're talking about Donald Trump's war crimes now. Hey, we saw in the news today a double strike on a boat in the Caribbean. A boat, folks, not a ship. A boat. A freaking boat. Now, last I checked, the United States has the largest military in the world. We shouldn't really be afraid of Venezuelan boats. They do not pose an existential threat to the United States. The United States is not threatened by Venezuela. We are not at war with Venezuela. Venezuela did not declare war with us. Now, I understand that Maduro is no Sunday school teacher. I understand that he stole the last election and that he's stifled opposition, and that regime change in Venezuela would be a real blessing for the Venezuelan people. But hey, it's not up to the United States to effect that regime change. And that's what we're looking at. We're looking at an attempt to do regime change and possibly massive theft of resources. That's right. Donald Trump loves his oil. Not a big fan of solar, not a big fan of windmills. You know the windmills, the ones that kill all the birds and the whales and stuff, drive those whales crazy, those windmills. He's not a fan of renewable energy. Big fan of oil and coal, drill baby drill, and fake promises to the coal miners in West Virginia during his campaign. Oh, I'm going to bring your jobs back. Psh, are you kidding me? Those mines are played out. Not going to bring back the jobs to the miners. Anyhow, war crimes. War crimes, folks. Let's keep our eye on the ball here. It's pretty tempting to get distracted by the Epstein files. It really is. Now we have war crimes to think about. Hey, the Epstein files are their own juicy target. I suspect if we saw everything that was in there, we'd find out that, either Epstein was holding the girl down while Trump banged her, or Trump was holding the girl down while Epstein banged her, or Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were holding the girl down while Trump banged her. Some variation on that theme. If everything in those files was exposed, we'd see a lot of crimes against young girls. But hey, at this point, it's hard to weigh which is more outrageous, the war crimes or the sex crimes. At this point, I'm going to say the war crimes. Bombing 29 boats, 30 boats, being proud of it. And the telling thing on TV was today was the unwillingness of Pete Hegseth and the Defense Department to release the second video in which they murdered two surviving sailors that were clinging to the edge of the boat. The Congress people who viewed the video could see quite plainly that there were survivors clinging to the side of the boat. Pete Hegseth tried to float a story where he didn't hang around to see just what the second strike did. Bullshit. Bullshit. He ordered that second strike. He stuck around and watched it happen. He's like, kill them all. That's his philosophy. Kill them all. Some of the lies that the administration tells us are so obvious. They're so clear to see. They get on TV and they lie to us and they think we're stupid. They think we don't understand that they're lying to us. Maybe we are stupid. 77 million of us were stupid enough to vote for Trump. Holy smokes, he lied and lied and lied during that campaign. Oh, we have concepts of a health care plan. Bullshit. We've seen no health care plan. We've heard that line now for years. Health care plan is coming. This is bullshit. It's not true at all. It's a lie. Just like so many other things that we hear from the White House. Lies. Yeah, veering a little bit off topic here, but we had that MRI situation the other day. Oh, what part of your body were they looking at? Oh, I don't know, but it wasn't my head. Well, they should have looked at your head, because that's where the damage is. You know? Definitely should run that cranium of yours through the MRI and see where the damage is. You know, the traumatic childhood damage from parents that didn't love you enough to raise you right, you know, and from your history of bullying. An MRI of the head might be just what's called for, just what's needed. But anyhow, we're not going to see that. So yeah, veering off topic. War crimes, folks. War crimes. War crimes. We have a criminal in the White House, a murderer in the White House, a criminal running the Defense Department, a murderer running the Defense Department. Let's keep our eye on the ball, and let's use our voices. I've said it before, I'm just one guy walking down a country road, but I will not be silenced. I'm going to say what I've got to say, you know? I'm ashamed of what's going on with our government right now. I'm so ashamed I'm 9,000 miles away, you know? Not even in the United States at this point. I got on an airplane and got out of there. But I read the news and I hear the news and I see the news, and I'm ashamed of what's going on in my country. Ashamed. I hope you all find your voices. I hope you all find your courage. I hope you get organized. And at least in 2026, take the power away from the Republicans. I mean, they are the people who are supporting Trump. They are his enablers. They are his toadies. They are his spineless followers. They're the ones who are helping to make all this happen. You know, if the Republicans would stand up to Trump and reclaim their power, I mean, I'm talking about the Republicans in the Congress, if they would reclaim their power, we wouldn't see these executive orders, or shall we say imperial decrees coming down from Washington. Hey, you know, this guy will continue to crap on the world as long as the Republicans allow him to do it. It's not a good look. Not a good look for America. All right. I got a bee buzzing me. I have to tend to this bee. I have to walk away so I don't have to kill this bee. That would be a war crime. Hey, everybody have a great day, and catch you on the next video. Okie dokie.